Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel and welcome to all new viewers. My name is Olka and I'm a UK-based vet, and today I'd like to help you answer the question: should I get a dog? Are you actively contemplating the idea of getting a dog? Or did you just stumble upon this video but always wanted a dog and were thinking, someday I will make this step when the time is right? Does someone in your household dream of a new puppy? Well, I'll do my best to help you make this decision. Let's dive in. The first obvious question you should ask yourself before deciding is: am I able to handle it financially? On an average day, depending on your dog's size, it probably won't be a massive cost. But occasionally, you will have to fork out a lot of money at once. So, what do you exactly need the money for? Firstly, if you decide to get a dog, there are two ways on how to go about it. You either adopt or you buy. I personally think adoption is normally a better choice. There are some circumstances where buying a dog is justified in my eyes, but that is a topic for another video. Regardless, if you want to buy, you need to pay, often thousands of pounds up front. Of course, you'll need to feed your dog. Depending on your dog's size, life stage, activity levels, you will need to pay anywhere between 10 and a few £100 a month for its food. Some relatively small costs include things like a collar, lead, dog bed, toys, but you don't need to pay for these every day. You will definitely need money to pay for any vet bills. If you're lucky enough, it could be only routine stuff, like vaccines, deworming tablets or a microchip, etc., which cost up to a few £100 a year. However, in the vast majority of cases, your dog will get ill or injured at some point. Maybe it will break its leg, develop diabetes, will suffer from stomach problems. Depending on the condition, diagnosing and treating can be very expensive, often costing a few £1,000s. In my opinion, if you can get pet insurance, that is a good option. Of course, you need to budget for that as well. Depending on your lifestyle and working hours, you might need to budget for a dog walker, dog sitter, a trainer. Are you going to travel with your furry friend? Think about cost of transport, especially if you are planning frequent air travel. According to PDSA, you should expect your dog to cost you at least £4,500 to £13,000 over their whole lifetime, but the cost could be as much as £30,000. What's even more shocking is the fact that these numbers are all estimated and don't include the cost of purchasing a dog or vet fees if your dog becomes ill. Next question you should ask yourself: have you got enough time? Dogs need a lot of attention and care. There are your usual responsibilities: walking your dog at least twice a day, feeding it, and taking it to vet's appointments. But even more importantly, you have to remember, dogs are pack animals by nature. They need companionship and have emotional needs. They want you around, your pats, cuddles, strokes, playtime. They will miss you when you are out, and they will crave your attention when you are in but are busy doing other stuff. Dogs also require training, especially the youngsters. If you want a puppy, you will normally need to spend at least the first 6 months really committed to raising it. Does it seem that in your everyday life you have enough time? If yes, lucky you. But consider one last thing here: holidays. Do you go away often? What would happen to your dog then? Would you take them with you? Even if you only go away once a year for 1 to 2 weeks, you have to have a plan. A boarding kennel? Do you have a family member you can ask for help? Next thing to consider is your health. Does your body allow you to walk your dog a few times a day, to play with it, to lift it up? Depending on the age and breed of your dream dog, they might require tons of exercise, and you must be ready to accompany them. Do you know if you are free of allergies your new pet may trigger? Is it worth making sure first? Excuse my cat there. He just wanted some strokes. Attention. Next question to ask yourself: are all of your household members on board with the idea? In my opinion, it is not the right choice for you if your partner, child, or a friend who you live with doesn't like dogs. It will create tension and problems between you and them, and between your pet and them. Are you sure they are not allergic? Do you expect them to contribute with taking care of it, but never actually asked? Ask. You might not get the answer you're hoping for. Have you got children? How old are they? Will you be able to make sure that they do not give the dog unwanted attention or bother it a lot? Or vice versa? Will you be able to supervise making sure your child is not in danger? If you are considering getting a dog because your teenager swears to you they will take care of it, pause right there. In most cases, you will end up taking care of it and paying for it. Children cannot be responsible for a dog at vets or in legal cases. For example, if your dog attacks someone or gets involved in a road traffic accident. Did you consider the amount of space in your house? Are you lucky enough to have a big garden? It depends a lot on the breed you are planning to get, but most dogs won't be happy in a small space for longer amounts of time. Have you got a three-seater sofa with just enough space for your family? I can guarantee you that your dog will want to cuddle up right there with you. Also, remember that most dogs, especially young, can be true whirlwinds of energy and sometimes distraction. Do you value furniture around your house? Were they expensive? Let me tell you, if you decided to take in a dog, you have to be prepared for a possibility of damage and dirt and bad smell. Next question to consider. Do you actually possess adequate amount of knowledge about dogs, their needs, their behavior? In my opinion, you shouldn't get a dog if only after your new family member arrives at your house you decide to reach for a book or scroll through websites specializing in pet care. Learn before, so you can make an informed decision and, most importantly, not neglect or hurt your pet due to lack of knowledge. Good example here would be what foods can be toxic to animals, or how health insurance works, how do you train a puppy, etc. There's a lot to consider in regards to the breed you should get, as well as the life stage of your potential new pet. Some breeds are perfect for single, active people, and some are suitable for a big family. Some have tendencies to be more dominant. Some tend to learn quicker. Work harder. It is really important to research these things and find out which breed would suit you best. Age matters. Getting a young puppy, you'll be able to shape their personality more and have much more influence on its future development and behavior. Their brain is certainly more susceptible to learn when they are young. However, you will also need to spend more time caring for them during the first 6 to 12 months. Adult dogs are more difficult to reshape when it comes to their habits and behavior. It is not impossible though. Okay. As a vet, I can tell you that my next point is especially close to my heart. Can you handle it emotionally? And not only just simply having and caring for a dog on a daily basis, but could you handle it getting sick? Could you deal with losing it? Some reactions I experienced from owners were incredibly devastating. People do grieve a lot. Sometimes it can take months or years. Most people, when they are faced with their dog dying, suffer as if it was any other family member. But you need to remember, they do live shorter lives and there is no cure for old age. One of the things vets are often unfoundedly blamed for is the inability to fix senile pets. Not only that, often owners can be oversensitive to the tiniest of things, like blood sampling, clipping their dog's nails, etc. If an animal doesn't like it, some people tend to freak out. How would you react if your dog got bitten or bit someone else? Could you be consistent with training and not spoil it? To summarize this section, I think that pet owners should be realistic, down-to-earth people who can think logically and handle their emotions. Very delicate and super sensitive people tend to have problems with either handling and training their pets or dealing with their illness and inevitable loss. Next question to answer. What if it gets ill? Will you have time and will you be emotionally able to look after it? And I'm not talking here about a stomach bug, which will resolve in a few days, or a broken bleeding nail. Your pet might get diabetes and require twice daily injections, strict diet, exercise regime, and frequent visits to your vets. It might develop allergies and require expensive prescription diets. There might not be a quick fix to it, and you might need to cope with it for years. A dog, especially a young one, is a long-term commitment. Be prepared that it might live up to 15 to 20 years. Think about your plans in 5 years' time. What do you imagine your life will look like then? Is there room for such a big commitment in your life? Are you planning to move a lot, start a family, develop a time-consuming hobby or a business? Plan ahead. Have you got any other animals? What species are they? Do you think they will accept a new family member? Or will the new dog tolerate them? I have seen many cases of dogs being brought to vets with bite wounds caused by animals living in the same household. It is also possible for your relationship to change with the pet you already have. They might get more attached to your new dog or get jealous. You might have less time for them. Another big one coming. The dog's personality. Maybe you dream of having a dog and imagine your close friendship with it. Amazing walks in nature, playing fetch and bonding. But the reality might be different, and you will never know unless you know the dog which you will be adopting well. Just like us, dogs have their own personalities. The dog you dreamt of might be naughty or more independent, possibly not very keen on playing, preferring other dogs to people. Certain traits you can shape, certain behaviors you might be able to change. But I believe animals, including humans, are born with certain predispositions, talents, and characteristics. So if you decide to get a new puppy or adopt a random dog, be prepared it might not be exactly like you imagined. What about your neighborhood? Do you live in a small town or a big city? Is there a park nearby? Think about where you would walk your dog. What about your neighbors? Do you think they could handle a dog which would potentially bark for a few hours a day, or might it cause problems and tensions between you? Are you renting a house? Does your landlord allow animals? Overall, it's a very big decision that many approach far too lightly. Think it through thoroughly. But if after watching this video it still seems like a good idea and you think you would be able to fit in a new family member in your life, then that's amazing. Dog ownership can be a fantastic experience and an awesome lifestyle. You are about to embark on a beautiful journey full of unconditional love. Dogs are great. And lastly, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and I hope I'll see you here again soon. Bye!